Hey there, lads and lasses. This here, of course, is Thunderhand64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States. Here on a Friday morning, it is a little bit past 11 a.m., and that can only mean that it's time for some Buffooncraft SMP Season 6. And I'd like to kick things off by welcoming in fellow buffoons, a real foolish sage, and of course Angel Bayou, who's making a comeback. Welcome in. Angel saying, hey, wait a minute, I got 9 out of 7 ads. How lucky am I? Oh, you know what? I think you logged in just before my 3-minute ad pre-roll was finished. And so, yeah, you got the ads. So at the beginning of each stream, I run ads for 3 minutes, and that will disable the pre-roll for viewers joining for the next hour. But you do got to wait until those are done. So I got bonus ads. Oh, that's the worst. But yeah, and then halfway through the stream, I'll take another 3-minute ad break. I'll run 3 more minutes. So the last hour of the stream, the pre-rolls are also disabled. So I figure at least if we have to run ads, at least we can decide how much and when, right? So I try to be, Sage. I try to be. It's called empathy. What the world needs now. Okay. Buffooncraft SMP. I usually don't care and let people suffer in the capitalist world we have created. Sage couldn't be bothered. But that's the idea of doing it the way I do it, though, because I really don't have to do that much. You know, it's a fiddling around with it for a little bit at first, but once it becomes a routine, it's just a set it, forget it kind of thing, and it does its own thing. So yeah, if it were a hassle for me to do, Sage, I probably wouldn't bother myself, to be honest with you. All right, that said, let's switch over to the display scene. There we go. And good Lord, everybody, look. Is it the apocalypse or what? Eve is actually on the server. Oh my God. Eve is on the server, everyone. Let's do a little bit of sleeping. See if she notices that we've logged on. And then we have to make certain that we've set our status. We have to do that. Moanstar. Let's see if she'll notice. Let me see. I think that's what. That's over here. That's right. I'm streaming, everyone. That's me. All right, I'm actually going to go over to my Drost residence, everyone. So, we don't have a very concrete plan right now. The residence. The Drostedans. Yeah, we don't really have a concrete plan for this stream. I seldom do, but I do have a few ideas that we can. There, oh God, the gas people. Yeah, we certainly have enough to keep. Yeah, and we dropped the lead. We certainly have enough to keep us busy. It's not like there's nothing to do. It's just choosing which things to do. So there is that. All right. Let's go over to here. I have successfully constructed my monster bone meal farm. Oh. Oh. All I have to do is to have it feed a far sillier farm. Yeah. Sage, I know you're busy with a job and stuff, but please stream that. I'm not the only one who wants to see that, which still needs building. Yes. Okay, so after concluding our holiday lucky block, the buffoons have decided that this island east and behind the Drost village, town, city shall be the new shopping district. And the buffoons wasted no time in getting right over here and putting in shops. Dora was the first one to put in a shop. It's absolutely beautiful. And then over here we have Lux's fish and chips shop over here. And Corny has made a new shop. Right there. Nice. Already the shopping district is taking shape. I've already made the north bridge going into there, and I've laid out some roads / paths along the way here. Chish and Phipps. Yep, that's right. Dyslexic much? Yeah, a little bit. I think that's hilarious. So I just sketched out some roads and paths and laid them out as like suggestions. I was going to say they're not really etched in stone, but they kind of are, right? I mean, palette-wise anyway. Right, and just to give, you know, the buffoons an idea, right, in accessibility, right? Of course, accessibility. So over here, there are a couple of things to do. I've blasted a tunnel through the mountainside over there, but it's very plain. So maybe we should decorate this a little bit and not go too nuts with it, but just make like, I don't know, an abandoned mine shaft kind of look in there, and then maybe a path down to connect to the road here, so it's obvious how to get up there and through there. Turn that vanilla into rocky. Okay, yes, sir. And then there's another thing that we can do. We need to make a couple of more bridges too. We have our north bridge here. That's a good one. We do need a mid and or south bridge somewhere around here somewhere. You can see where Dora's kind of done that already, but Dora, there is a bit of a problem here. Yeah, the aquatic traffic kind of stops here. So what I was thinking is we go to the end of Dora's path. We certainly don't have to alter anything that she's made. We could go to the end of Dora's path and make a bridge here over to the path there, and then divert the river around it. That way we don't have to touch anything she's done there. I think that's a good solution to that. That doesn't affect anybody's builds. This is just jank land material over here, not doing anything. We sort of have the bridge house here anyway. We might even be able to build off of this. Maybe. and just maybe arch this down. Yeah, we could do that. We could arch this down to here and then just make a path that goes 90 off of that. And then put the water, make the water flow underneath. We could do that. Yeah, maybe we'll dedicate this stream to doing that. Stream, river, puns. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we could do that. In fact, the nice thing about this is the aesthetic and the palette and everything for the bridge is already established here. All we have to do is really extend that out and make an arc out of it, and we're done. I think that's a cool idea. It doesn't really affect anybody's builds. Pre-existing lore is already set. Palette is already set and everything. I like that idea. I don't think Dora's gonna mind at all. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's cool. All right, let's go pack Hubert over here. Hubert. And then before we do that, let's take a look at the rest of the island. I did this last stream, but just to remind the viewers of what we're dealing with here and where the island is, and the buffoons as well. You know, one of the things I'd like to do too is at least get the circumferential path all the way around the edge of the island, and maybe the main road through the middle, just to remind the buffoons, you know, you don't need all the shops right here at the edge. I mean, Lux had the idea. He went right in and built, but you know, you can't blame them for putting them right on the shoreline because it's the closest to Drost, right? So it makes sense. But we do have this entire island to fill with shops. Waterfront property, you got it. So I'm thinking somewhere around here. I mean, if we make a bridge there, then we should have a bridge maybe. You know what would be cool is a two-piece bridge here. We could extend the path off here like this, make a small bridge there and a bigger bridge here. Would be cool. But then, you know, also make maybe some bridge over here leading over to the wheat farm and stuff. You know, this would connect up Skipton and the trade hall. And my main concern would be to make a path from the trade hall over to the shopping district. I think that would be a... What is that big square hole in the small line? That was the original location for the squid farm. So yeah, I should go in there and fill that back in. That's got me also thinking that, you know, I should make a two-piece bridge. Yeah, so I was originally going to make the squid farm here. And it would have been okay. It would have functioned all right, but it wouldn't have been ideal. So when I make public farms, I do like to make them more around Drost than down by my own base, but... So you can see, yeah, a path along here and then out to the wheat farm would be probably a good thing to do. And the rest of this peninsula island out here, too, also is good for any kind of other public farms that we want to make, because it's close to the shopping district and close to Drost, right? So you just get some ideas of just, you know, civil engineering and planning and stuff like that, you know. Just put a tiny roof over it. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. You know, well, I'm certainly not going to fill it in with solid blocks. But, you know, plus the structure of the two-piece bridge will go over it as well, so. And it's cool, you know, we have this back inland sea area back here. This area is really beautiful. We just don't get to view it a lot because we're not over here as much. But when the shopping district goes in, and well, it is in right now, but when it becomes more and more developed, we'll get to see more of this back area. It'll be nice. Now we have some chunks loading in over there that Bobby has yet to update. Yeah, and you have this river system in here, which is really nice. So you can see, yeah, we would wrap. Hey, there she is. Hey there. Now, a Flying Villager was thinking on making some sort of... Yes. Status has been set. Okay, yeah, so Flying Villager wanted to make a sort of museum hall in the shopping district. Kind of like Season 6 Memories sort of thing, where each stall would be like a diorama of sorts of our favorite scenes from Season 6. But, you know, although the shopping district island is big, he really wants that hall to be big. I can't type it. Please, keyboard. I know how to type streaming. Please just let me do it. So, yeah, so I was thinking of suggesting to Villager, instead of putting the hall in the middle of the shopping district, which kind of doesn't make sense, we have this entire North Island here, which is right... oh, wow. We have this entire North Island, which is just the right size to dedicate the entire island just to that museum. And, you know, it does have the Halloween build right off to the west of it, but the whole rest of the island isn't doing anything. It's Drost adjacent, you might say. It's right there. You could dedicate the entire thing, and then the shopping districts is more like a shopping district, right? Yeah, I got to suggest that to Villager, see if he wants to follow through with that, because I think that's a really cool idea. That way the island gets its own dedicated, like, museum hall island, and it really gives it the validation and stuff it deserves. There's Eve. Wow. Oh, come on in, Eve. You know, I figured if I just jabbed the hornet's nest there, we'd get a little bit of activity. It's cool, though. If you look around, Drost is really beautiful. Nova, I got to talk to you about this roof a little bit later. Looking, I'm busy playing Minecraft with a purple guy. Oh, okay. Tell him I said hi. So, yes, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I was just thinking you would do that. I'm like, oh, please type that in the chat. Very well done, Eve. You picked right up on that cue. Very nice. So there is this tunnel here that needs to be done. And I'm thinking, just don't overdo it. Maybe put in a soul sand track in here to make it a little quicker. And then just do the abandoned mine shaft kind of theme in here with some decorative blocks. And then maybe a path from here that curves outward and hooks up here with some sort of decorative thing here that draws the eye over there and lets people know. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure you don't. But I think this is a good idea. So we should do a little inventory management. I know it's boring. It's boring. But it's good stuff for streams. It is the stuff of streams. But then when we can get a block palette together and get some resources together for this part of the bridge, and then maybe we can get the bridge into place here. At least we can get it sketched out. I don't know if we'll, I kind of want to build the bridge first and then divert the waterway through it. I think that's a better idea. But then, you do have to let the buffoons know that you're going to take this space for water. Because things happen fast here in Buffooncraft, right? And if I just start to build this but leave this, a shop could spring up here and then, yeah. The problem hasn't been solved. It's been exacerbated. Yes. Gotta be careful how I say that. Yeah, so there is that. So I do have lots of shulkers full of stuff, but not really the stuff I kind of need for this. So let me see. We need stone bricks, and andesite, and spruce. We need a lot of spruce. I'm also going to include some birch, but birch will be the texture block, and it'll be mainly spruce. Like the North Bridge over there, I used mostly birch, I believe. Well, I kind of mixed them 50-50. So I don't want this bridge to really match that one. I like the idea of different building materials and different styles. It just helps to distinguish between them. Yeah, North Bridge looks like that, right? Mid or South Bridge looks like this. Well, I don't have to zoom for that. Thunder, really. So yeah, I like the idea of that. So let's head back to my base. Let's do that. And then we can do a little bit of inventory management and some resource gathering. And maybe we can start building. Yeah, see, like I'm saying, a soul sand track here would be, yeah. Okay, let me see. Am I good here? I think I am. Yeah, we can go directly to the base. Make certain that we have the boat and not the bed. You saw earlier, before she went into work lurk, Ah. So, yeah, finishing my thought. Okay. Cog shaped. Good luck. Ooh, yeah, that's actually hard to do. Because the individual teeth of the cogs go off at odd angles. And yeah, I will say the bigger the cog, the easier it is. She heard that in the stream. I don't have to type that. But okay. All right. Yeah, I know. I know. All right, let's do some dangerous, yes. Yeah, the G on the end of cog. Understood. Yes, understood. All right. Okay. All right. Let's do some inventory management. I'm gonna keep a little bit of the oak, some green leaves. I don't really need the calcite, the sand. I'll keep a little bit of this stuff. I don't really need the sticks. Don't need the dirt. The copper bulbs, maybe. Maybe for the lighting. Another quartz, no, but I will make some daylight sensors while I'm here. I'm going to need a lot of those. Cobble. I'll keep a little bit of cobble, a little bit more of the oak. But I'm going to try to consolidate some of this stuff. Won't be too hard, but I want to do it in and against the cliff, so I need to find cliff walls that are big enough. I think 40 by 40 blocks. Wow! And like I mentioned earlier, at least verbally here on the stream, the bigger that cog is, the easier it's going to be. Those kind of features get really difficult when you start to get small, because when it's bigger, you can use more blocks. It's like you have more pixels to work with. So those odd angles, you know, the 90s and the 45s are fine. It's when you get like the 30s and the 60s get a little bit tough, right? So depending on how many teeth you have and stuff, so. And no, I'm not good at terraforming. Join the club. I think you're better at it than I am. Most of you are. We can get rid of sticks. We don't need any of that stuff. See, we can clean up a lot of things in here. Like this stuff could go over with the generic copper items over there. that stuff can go in there. See, I can do stuff like this. And I forget how to make logs out of oak wood like this. Do I need to do that over here? Well, I can make planks out of it, I guess. I'm just thinking it takes up one less inventory space, right? I don't need birch. I don't need brick walls. I'm pretty much done with the calcite and the tuff. And I certainly don't need this much dirt. No, we have the same issue with liking symmetry. We are good at that. Yes, yes. Eve's builds, she is very good with the geometric stuff. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's really hard to make your brain not do that. And to go asymmetrical. Yeah. And you see me, even when I'm terraforming, I do things like Fibonacci sequences where I'm like 1s, 2s, 3s, and 5s and things like that. I think it comes out okay despite that, but still. Let's see. Tough. Where do I have that? I should have a chest for that. I should. Have horse, prismarine, basalt, cooper bits, tech stuff, plank stripped, bony bits. Really, I don't have a. You're kidding. The amount of that stuff that I use, really? Good heavens, Thunder, please. All right, well, if that's the case, let's just do that. I'm going to keep a little cobblestone on me a little bit. That's sand, not sandstone, so that can go in there. Same thing with the calcite. I think I'm pretty much done with calcite right now. I may need it for more path stuff later, but we should be fine with it. And again, I don't need the wall units. I can get rid of those. Brick stuff goes in with the clay items. Yeah, there we go. What do we have here? Bricks. Okay, got it. The mud blocks I will need, but I don't think I'm going to need that now. In fact, I don't think I need anything in this shulker, so that's good. The spruce I do need. All right, let's keep hold of that. But the rest of this stuff, let's put this in here. All right, let me see, mossy muddy bits right here. So this is all the crafted mud stuff, right? You know, I really do. Wow, look at all that spruce. All right, well, we know where to go to get the spruce. I want to make another chest for tough, is what I want to do, but I'm kind of running out of room here. Which is, hello, Thunderhand, storage space, calling you on line 6. Would like to know when you're going to get around to that. Sorter storage system. I think I might actually have to build one pretty soon. Yeah. A number of the buffoons have built some very prolific ones so far in this season. My neighbor there to the south and east, of course, building an absolutely incredible one. I think it's high time I get around to dealing with a storage system. I've been meaning to build one for just about every season. these are my adventuring chests. Let's see. Dirt, andesite, cobblestone. A little bit more of that. I think we can get rid of these items here. Oh yeah, I did want to take this. Let's see. Tough stuff. We'll do that. Okay, let's do this. Rid of the birch, the granite. The rest of this stuff I think we're okay with. All of that's looking good. All right, let's grab that spruce while it's still. Okay, and let's see if we can find any more while we're at it. Right there. Excuse me. We got a little bit of dry air this week, so gotta mark it. Let's see. Gotta mark it. That means thank you, by the way. Let's do this. Get some more dirt there. Right. Any more of the spruciness? I don't think so. I think we're good. That's dark oak. Right. I think we're good. I think we're good. Right. Okay. We're fine here. And I think I wanted to do the spruce stuff in here, like this. I think that's enough spruce for right now, but I don't know. We might go over to our extremely manual tree farm. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Since when have my hands done something I told it to do? Told them to do, whatever. No. There. Classic example right there. Let's put that in there. And you know what? Let's just put those in there for now. Okay, that's going well. Now, I have a whole bunch of dirt here that does not need to be here. And we don't need the sticks. Bye-bye, dirt. Sticks can go over there. Good. All right. I did include a little bit of birch saplings just in case, but I really don't think I'm going to be using those. We can consolidate a little bit of this. Yeah, like that. Okay, so this shulker is pretty much full. That gives me an empty shulker. Those are my adventuring shulkers. All right, so we should have 3 of these now. I think we're good. We can now start to get some stone items in there. Right? Okay, good. Gravel. Who wants gravel? Andesite. Yeah, I'll take some of that. I think I'm okay with cobble, though. I don't think I'm going to be really using a lot of that. I can't believe I'm so low on stone, though. What did I do with all the stone? It might be over at... All right, let's just go through here and see if there's any stone items I can get rid of. That's tough. That's tough. You know, a big part of this is also just cleaning things up, too. Like I've been known to do on Generations. There's Nebs. Welcome on in, friend, moderator of the stream, fellow buffoon, and one-woman eco-disaster herself. The one and only Princess Nebula. How's it going down there in the cold and frigid south? There, Nebs. I think I read that you got your power back on and stuff, so that's good. Yeah, see, some of this is stone. It's not even tough. It's going okay. Oh, and there's Dora. Welcome on in, Dora. Fellow buffoons there. You should be able to see the auto shoutouts up there for our buffoon friends. Okay, something. Oh, yeah, okay. I forgot we have this whole row of materials here. So let's get all the stone stuff together, shall we? We'll grab this and this. And I think that's all I really need out of this chest. Right? Yes. Okay, so that one's good. We'll get a lot of this andesite. You know what? Let's put all the andesite right in here. Sage helped us out incredibly with the andesite supply. Okay, we've got stone. We'll do that. We'll use some of this stuff. This is most of the stuff I was using to build the paths. Yeah, it's cold. 26F feels like 20F, and it's snowing again. The other day, I was looking at the temp in your area, Thunder, and me and the oldest was super jealous. It was in the 60s. Right now, it's beautiful in Southern California. It's my favorite time to be here. Everything's cool and moist and green and alive. Instead of the default rest of the 9 months of the year, or even 10 months of the year, where everything's brown, gray, dead, and on fire. So it's actually a nice time to be here. Yeah, we're lucky. We lucked out this winter. We are officially and way, way, way out of any kind of drought season right now. We have enough snowpack. All the reservoirs are all topped up, right? The snowpack will sustain us for a couple of years. Yeah, we're doing well. So, snowbirds really need to go to SoCal for the wind bumps. Yes. Please come on out here. Please drop by and visit. Nobody ever visits me here, so... I'll take you to Disney. It'll be a good time. I did meet Explodin out here, though. We did meet up. He was at Disney. Disney's right down the road from us, so... Okay, I think we're pretty much finished here. I could use that. That. I'll take that along. Plus a little bit of the greenery. Oh, and the copper and that. Oh, and a little bit of this. Maybe the oak. One of these days. Yeah, I know, Nebs. It's expensive to come out here. It really is. I want to go to Disney. Whenever you're in the neighborhood, let me know. Mrs. Thunderhand is an absolute Disney freak. Which is why we live where we do. BuffoonCon and SoCal. Sounds good to me. I've never been to Disney, so I want to go. It would be super cool. It really would. Another sort of more compromising and a little bit more adult BuffoonCon would be Las Vegas. And, you know, back in season 6, I think it was, we suggested that. And most of you liked that idea. So Vegas is a 3-hour drive for me across the desert, but it's not like undoable. You know, we're used to making that trip. So Like I met Greener out in Vegas. He had a convention he needed to attend out there, and it's like, hey, let's do a mini BuffoonCon of 2. So Vegas is another alternative. So. And ironically, it might actually be cheaper than Disney. I think Disney would be more fun though. We need that. We need some planks, some glass, and quartz. We need more glass, and we know where to go for the glass, don't we? Honestly, I would want to fly out there to either Vegas and then have 2 weeks to drive home. Yeah, because you could do the sightseeing on the way home, right? You know, that's definitely something I want to do because I live out in this area and I've never gone to any of the state parks, really. I've been to Joshua Tree and Catalina Island and Idlewild. I've been to a couple of the places, but like I haven't been to Yosemite. I haven't been to Death Valley. I haven't been to any of those cool places. And one thing you can say about California as far as like the national parks and things like that, it's really incredible here. It really is. And I hardly get to see any of it because Mrs. Thunderhand hates that stuff. So I'm really on my own and I was formerly just way too busy to do any of that stuff. But now that I'm retired, it's like, you know, I should start getting around to some of these places, you know, while I have some time left. Let's go get some glass, shall we? And we'll also go to the wood farm and we'll see if there's anything out there that we can use. See if Kachi or Biggie want to go with it. Biggie says he wants to go. Kachi has no interest in that whatsoever. He's like Mrs. Thunderhand. He's like, nope, no thanks. Biggie does a little bit, but he has a time limit with it. You know, like he wouldn't want to go camping at one of the state parks for a weekend. That would be too much for him. But like a day for him or something would be okay. Whereas I'm, you know, from New Hampshire, so the outdoors stuff is, and you know, I'm an old white guy, you know, so outdoors is like a really big thing for me. All right, well, let's do the sleeping here. But I would love to go to a lot of places out here and maybe even like stream a little bit from them. Because there are beautiful and very cool and really strange and alien looking environments out here. It's really cool. Anything I can clear out of these chests and get rid of? One item. Yeah, fine. All right, we can get rid of some of that spruce, a little bit of that spare oak. That shouldn't be in here. What's that doing here? We'll put that in the chest after we're done. Let's go get some glass. Oh, Thunder, I found a new Mushroom Island seed. Ooh, nice. I want to see it. I want to go to Joshua Tree too. Yeah, my school did this outdoor education thing where we would take the students, the entire school, because it's a small school, so we'd have like maybe max 120 students. And we would take all the students out camping for a week. Okay, I didn't see them in here. I was a little worried. But we would take them on a camping trip outdoors. And so we would go to a state park, rent out the cabins or the tents or something, and just bring the entire school out there. And we keep them out there for, not a week, we keep them out there for 3 days, sometimes 4 depending. And Joshua Tree was one of the ones that we brought the students to. Yeah, it was incredible. It was really nice. I mean, it was kind of tough too because I had to work. You know, I had to be assistant principal there and, you know, do my job there and stuff. But It was really incredible. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's tough though. It's tough camping in Joshua Tree. So there's no glamping there. I'll tell you, it's a tough stay. That sounds so cool. The only field trips we had were just trips to like Mammoth Cave. Yeah, the same here. I'm sure we had some cool camping trips, field trips in my schools too, but certainly nothing like that. No, our outdoor education. So, what was the name of our vendor for that? There was a company that would organize and oversee that whole camping trip for us. I remember because the guy was who ran it was from New England, like me, so we got along pretty well. Um, yeah, I forget what it's called. Can't think of it now. But yeah, the school would just sub out to them, and so they would work with us, and they would organize everything, and it was really cool. Yeah, like when you go to Big Bear Mountain here, the elevation is about 8,000 feet, and a lot of the students come from urban areas. And when it's up there, the sky is incredibly clear. That's why we have like Mount Wilson Observatory is like right next to it and stuff. And that's like one of the biggest impressions made on them is when they see like the night sky like that, and you can see satellites passing overhead. You can see the Milky Way is really clear. And stuff. It's really cool. And we usually hire an astronomer to come out and point things out to the students and stuff. It's really cool. It's cool because, like I said, a lot of the students come from an urban background, so they don't ever really get to do outdoors. And sure, they struggle and they suffer and everything, but it's cool to see them. You see a lot of transformations happen. We'll grab that in a minute. Let's just do this. It's like many of those like super wealthy urban students, who never had an idea at all that any of that stuff existed. And you bring them out there and it's just, you see their minds are just blown. It's like, wow, this stuff is here? You could do this kind of stuff? Oh, yeah. Lucky kids. Suffering is part of the camping experience, though. Well, yeah. If you don't suffer just a bit, it isn't really camping. Yeah, that's glamping, right? We try not to make them suffer too much, but still. The idea is to give them a little bit of hardship, right? Because some of those students have never had any kind of hardship in their life at all. A lot of them, we're a very wealthy private school, so a lot of them, live very posh lives. And it's quite a shock. And it's also pretty comical, too, to see them dealing with that. There's Lone Star. Sir, my status is set. How are you doing today? All right, let's get some glance. That means back over this way. Let's do that. There we go. How we're doing? We got about 5 minutes before we run our ad break. So we are, I feel like we're doing well. I just need to craft up these daylight sensors, and then we're off. We're back over to the shopping district, and we can start building. Dora, I hope you'll be still active in the chat when we come back, because I'm building a bridge next to your base. Not next to your base, next to your shop in the shopping district. And I think I'm considerate enough in the way that I've built it where it shouldn't affect it, but I'd still like to get your thoughts on it before I put it into place. I'm sure you won't have a problem with it, but there we go. All right, let's head on back. Still, if I could get your blessing on that, that would be nice. You can see Bobby's filled in the chunks now back there. I just love this view, by the way. I still don't know how to set my particles to get rid of this division line and just have a smooth transition down. But I love this this northwest view with my island and then the sea and then the opposite coastline out there. This, I have a strong inclination to make this into a volcano. I really, really do, but I don't know. There's so many things to do. You could build over the top of the greenhouse and I wouldn't be... Ugh! I will absolutely not do anything of that kind of sort. But I will show you what I have in mind. I'm going to take a very short break, but before I do, I'm just going to go out to our Fomorian sea giant here and just show what I've finished out there, and then we'll use that for the break. So let's see. I think Nemo is still down here. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. Let's craft the daylight sensors, get those in there, get packed up and ready to go. Then we'll head there, do the break, and come back. Let's do that. Daylight sensors. We should have everything we need now. What? Glass? Oh, I need the oak planks for that. Okay. Oh, Thunder. Really? Come on, dude. Please. Let's make some room in the inventory. Let me see. We already have a nice multiple of 3 there. That's good. Spruce stuff is over here, so that'll fit in there without making more. Taking up more inventory slots. That should be good in there. Again with the spruce. Right there. Let's do that. I think we're good. Logs and saplings. I'm gonna use something like that. Yeah, that should do it. And then I'm gonna come over here. Do something like that. And now I'm gonna do daylight sensors. Daylight. So I need these for those lamps that I've designed over at in the shopping district. So put the extra glass right in here. Not only that, but I probably have some materials over by my build that I can use. So there is that to consider as well. Let's do that and that and that. Like this. I think I'm good here. Yes. Let's head on down. Yeah, he's right here. All right, let's do the sleeping thing. Let's get that done. Done, and rise and shine. Hey, where's my zombified friend over here? Where is he? I just saw him. There he is. I like him because he's a fast boy. Yeah, he certainly is. All right, so we are actually about to finish up this build. So I've finished the mouth on this now. I'm not really crazy about the interior, the inside of the mouth and stuff, but it's okay. I mean, it's just colored terracotta blocks, but it's all right. It is extremely menacing looking, so I do like that. So the mouth is finished. I'm quite pleased with the way it came out. I'm satisfied with leaving that as is. The next step now is we have 2 more things to do. We need to terraform around... He is kind of scary. Yeah. Well, that's the point. So we need to now terraform the ocean floor around him to make it look like he's crawling up out of a hole. Plus to provide some animation effects too, like some magma blocks so we have the bubbling, right? And just to get some motion in it and stuff. I'm also thinking on hanging some vines off of him at certain points to make it look like seaweed and he's rising up out. And maybe even some water streams too, coming down off of certain portions, right? But that has to be handled very, very carefully to make it look decent, right? So there will be that. So there's a little bit of terraforming and decoration to be done. And then the final stage, so that's the second to the penultimate stage. And then the ultimate stage is to put the eyes in. And the eyes have to go in last. Absolutely, without question, because once those eyes are in, we won't be able to do anything else. So, just a hint of what's to come. And putting those eyes in, that's going to be, wow. That's going to be quite an ordeal. Okay, I just want to check this quickly, see if there's anything in here I can use. A little bit of andesite, maybe. No, I think we're good. The glass I could have used earlier. A little bit of stone. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's head back. Eve, here's where a little geometry lent itself to an organic situation, right? I was trying to get the shape of these head fins, and I just couldn't get them down. And so what I wound up doing is taking a quarter of a circle right there, and then just stacking it beside each other 7 times and just moving each curve up 1 and back 1. And then the next one up 1 and back 1 and up 1 and back 1. And so I was able to make that fin-like shape there. And so I did that on both sides. So that's where, you know, a little geometry came in and made an organic kind of shape out of a very inorganic shape. And then because his head is actually not completely symmetrical, intentionally, his head is kind of sideways and down a little bit. So I made one slightly higher than the other to offset them, to throw off the symmetry a little bit, add a little asymmetry to it. So boink, there we go. And 'tis here that we will stop for a break. So we'll run about 3 minutes of ads, and then we'll be right back. Hey there, welcome back. Welcome back, Eve, and Mr. Relic, welcome on in. Okay, let's log back in, shall we? There we are. Back in onto the server here. Get on with our work. Done. Status is still set. Eve's still there. Great. Nice catch, Lone. It's only been the entire stream. Hold on, let me do this. Let's see if, can I switch the overlays without... I wonder. I wonder if I can set my scene without logging out of the stream. I think mission accomplished, right? Yeah, okay, sure. Let's start at the playlist. There we go. Hey, welcome to Buffooncraft. Thank you, Lone. See, we tease Lone about, you know, being a little too motherly to us sometimes, but his heart's in the right place. You'll have to start all over again now. No. Not just to change the scene, apparently. So my overlays, I have a different scene already set up for each of the overlays. So I have one for Generations, one for Buffooncraft, one for Kachi Time. I have a generic scene with no overlays. Scene collection, I should say. There'll be a scene collection for Buffoon Skies, right? Lone has a heart? Yes, but it's dead. All right, let's head on back to the shopping district, and we'll get right down there. I'll show Dora what I'm talking about. The other thing I'm thinking of is making a portal directly to the shopping district. It's not that big of a deal to have to run through the tunnel here. It's pretty close. But when we start getting shops on the opposite end of the aisle, I think a portal out here would be a good thing. Okay, so Dora, I don't know if you're still there. So, Dora, what I was thinking is, now, you know I love you, but Ark. So, that being said, I just slapped down easy. Yes, yes. Why, you little... Right? And so, what I was thinking is, since we already have this structure in place, I was just going to build a bridge right across here that would terminate right around here. Bring the river through here. And then just 90 right off your path right over to where the bridge terminates. I think that's cool, right? I mean, it doesn't change anything that you've built at all. It's also kind of on the side of your build so it doesn't block it. Do what you need to do, of course. And I thought you would say that, but, I still like to ask, But, and this is cool because the block palette's already established and everything. I just have to work with these kind of materials. Just basically build probably even just a half arch right across there. Right? And just have it touch down right about here. So that's what I'm thinking. So let's clear out some of the landscaping here. We're just going to wind up putting it back afterwards, but let's see. We'll pull these trees down for right now, but like I said, we're just going to wind up putting them back after. Yeah, this one too. Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, I like it. That one might have to come down, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Now, we'll come right off the top of this, I'm thinking. And we'll make a nice, graceful arch right over there. And then maybe some narrower intermediate arches underneath it. I think that's the best way to go. I think that'll look the coolest. But let's sketch in the big arch first. So I'm thinking the center of the arch would be here and then just doing half of it over to there. But it's just picking it out. Now, hopefully this was built on the odds. Nice. Okay. So we want this axis right here. And let's just stage all of our materials. I'm going to stage them right here on what's going to be Dora's Island. Well, it's not really going to be an island, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Actually, though, I think they'd be better off like right here. Let's use this for our staging area. We'll do a little something like this. Okay, that's good. Then let's see. Let's put in some of the build features in and around here. We'll put this extra one right there for now. Good. We need right here and here. Cyclopsalops! Thank you for the raid, sir. Welcome on in, Raiders. I did see you streaming earlier. Looked like you were playing a spooky game. And I was thinking, who's going to finish first? Who's going to wind up raiding who? It looks like you're raiding us. Thank you so much for the raid. G Panda, welcome on in. Yes, I play FNAF. Yeah, that's what it was. And I'm thinking, wow, is he really playing Five Nights at Freddy's? But got scared, so I played some Finch's Story. Oh, that's why you switched. How are you doing, sir? Doing well yourself. It could not be better, thank you. Doing very, very well indeed. It's Friday. I haven't welcomed you all to Friday, by the way. Welcome to Friday, everyone. Kachi has early release on Fridays, so we get to start our day a little earlier. All right, I think the ground platform is here. Yeah, it is. Right. Okay, so central. Okay, so the arch. So we're going to use Mini HUD to help us sketch out the arch here. So I got to stop panning around the camera so fast. Sorry. Let's do this. Okay, from right here, we'll have this be roughly where the center is. So let's do HC like this. We will do shapes. We will do cylinder. Configure. All right, axis should be south or north. North, good. Okay. Radius is going to be so much bigger than that, but we'll start. We'll start with this, and we'll step out and have ourselves a butcher. And let's do away with a little bit of those kind of things. Yeah, that's not going to do, but let's do the sleeping thing. Otherwise, we'll be mobbed with mobs. So, and we shouldn't have to place the bed each time, so let's just do that. Go to raid and head off, sadly. Hope you have a great stream. Those buildings look really cool. Yeah, these are the Drost buildings that were initially here at the beginning of the season as part of the lore. And yeah, this is Nova and Villager, Supernova Relic and Flying Villager. They're just amazing looking. Of course, you would expect no less. All right, let's... But you do what you need to do. I'll always appreciate the raid. All right, I'm going to view from right about here, and we can use this viewpoint to adjust our arc. Very first thing is we're going to increase the radius a lot. And let me see. Radius, combined quads. Off. Block snap center. Full block. Good. Height. Radius. Well, we need to bring it down a little bit. Like that. Gonna head out now, but it was nice seeing you all. Bye! Have a good evening, sir. And looking forward to collaborating soon on some of the projects that you and Pleasant Player and the crew are putting together. So really looking forward to that stuff. Let's increase. So we'll increase the radius and adjust the height until we get the kind of curve that we're looking for. I forget how I get rid of this block on the outside. Is it because this is fractional, or is it because my Y is not fractional? No, that doesn't do it. But it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, let's bring this down. And you know what? Let's actually bring Let me see. I'm facing south, so that's Z. So let's bring the X right there. Let's do that. It might also be the fractional radius too. That might be causing a problem. And having the radius be an even number too. Good. All right, so let's... And then I want to make sure that I've got the right block. So let's do this. And so I want the center to be right here. So let's go HC again. Ugh. There. Set here, like that. Okay, and then we need to bring it down again. All right, so let's go into the configure. Let's go lower the Y. Right there. So you can see where I'm sketching in. Now, I don't always follow these block for block, but it just gives me an idea of roughly how to place it. It's mostly just placing it in space. Oh, Fantasy Aviation. Oh, yeah, thank you. The color of your name is the same as Sykes, so... let's see. All right, so we need this to be stretch out over to there. So the radius is going to have to be much bigger. Probably twice as big as it is right now, and an odd number. And then adjust the Y to bring it down. So let's do that. So 19, so that's going to be 38. So let's just start right with 38, and then we'll adjust it from there. Let's bring the Y down. Okay, yeah, it's going to need to be a little bit bigger than that. But you can see where we're getting there. I needed to reach that opposite shore right about there. And it looks like we're only going to be able to get one sub-arch underneath it. If I decide to even just not... I may just wind up using this half arch here anyway. I think I did a similar thing on the North Bridge. No, the North Bridge, I did a full arch here, but then I extended a straight portion of the bridge out to connect to it. Yeah, let's do this, because it's just more of an interesting geometric shape to have half an arch. Yeah, let's do that. All right, but you can see we're almost there. We're very close. One of the other things I need to be conscious of is to make certain that I have enough land here on the other side where it doesn't deposit the travelers right onto the side of her structure. There needs to be some room here to touch down. Yeah. Oh, you know what? You know what else might be really cool? Wow, this is going to be really hard to do. What if we did a curved bridge? And I know, not just curved in the... ZY plane, but curved in the XZ plane as well. And so we'd have a compound curve in two planes. Wow, that would be cool. It's going to be hard to do, but it's going to be cool. Because what I'm thinking is not just having it curved this way, but also having it curve southward too, a little bit away from a little bit away from Dora's build. So it would terminate right around here. I mean, because I could do this. Right? I could have it terminate like right around here and have the water coming through here and then just having this land, which is probably what I'm going to do. But I think if you come over here and see what I did with the north bridge, I think if you come over here, you can see as we come off the bridge here, there's kind of a landing area here, which is a good thing to have, right? There's no shops here or anything. You have a little bit of open space so you can see things, right? Oh, I want to go over here and check out Corny's shop and Dora's shop, or, you know, I want to go this way and there are shops over here, or I want to cut across the island, right? You have a little bit of like a landing pad here coming off the bridge. And now this one over here doesn't have to be quite as big as that. But it's good to have like a little landing area like that where you can look around. Uh-oh. Dora. You have visitors at your shop, and I really doubt that they're here to make a purchase. I think they're loiterers. I think it's time to call security. And guess who's working the security shift today? Oh, yeah. Okay. You've all picked the wrong shop. If you haven't despawned already, you're going to wish you had. I think they despawned, which is fortunate for them. I think they saw that a buffoon was in the area, and they're like, "Arr, arr, we're out of here." Good. See, that's the best kind of security of all. You just show up, and they don't even think twice about it. We're out of here. They didn't go inside the shop, did they? Before I get bragging too much here. No, everything's safe and clear. This place is beautiful. Great. That's exactly how that should go down, people. Oh, crap. It's Thunderhead. Run! Just like that. By the way, if you were ever wondering what it was like, what I was like as an assistant principal at my school, it was a lot like that. Okay. Okay, this isn't so bad. I mean, that's a pretty good arch. It's tall enough where I can build some stuff underneath it. I kind of like where it terminates. I think that'll give us enough land on the opposite side. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I like that. Okay, how much time do I have left in the stream? Oh, good. I have about 24 minutes. That should give me plenty of time to sketch out the arch, to make the landing area, at least establish where it's going to be, and maybe plow through this dirt and get at least one layer of water through here, just to let the buffoons know where things are going to fall. So let's take a look. Configure. I think that's going to do it. I like that. I like this better. I like it. Okay, let's go with this. And then, you know, if we change it, it might be a change later. We'll see. But let's sketch it in with these kind of blocks. It looks like, I don't know if Nova or Villager built this, which is probably going to upset either one of them, but how dare you, sir. This looks like it might be a Villager build. I'm not sure. And I only say that because Nova's builds usually have more dangly bits to them, but sometimes you can't tell, you know, sometimes he goes a little bit less intricate with some of his stuff. Sometimes he dials it back a little bit. Those guys have been building together for like at least 4, 5, 3 seasons now. So let's see. So the point of this is, my conversation is stone bricks, and andesite. Okay, good. That's what I'm trying to say. Andesite being the lighter, stone bricks being a little heavier. And do I have any? I have a few of the cracked stone bricks, not a lot, and regular stone. All right, let's just sketch out the arch first. Let's do that. Let's establish that one. We'll do this, and maybe a couple of those. This. And then a cracked one, and then we're going to need a little bit of dirt. Right, okay. And it looks like stone and andesite are 50-50 as his main blocks. And it looks like the bricks are more the accent blocks, so let's go with that. And then we'll step back and we'll have a butcher. We'll see what this looks like. And then maybe I'll put one right here just as like for the landing. All right, let's take these away. I tell you, I'm so tempted now to like take this and curve this over to right here. And then just take Dora's path and bring it right around here by the shore side. I'm really tempted to do that. I am really tempted to do that. I mean, just geometrically, it would be a fun thing to do. And Dora's given us permission to mess around with our path here a little bit too, so... Like, we could help her out by making a slight path there. This, it just looks ideal for the landing area, right? We can also extend a little bit of a shoreline path around here to connect to that path, just to bring folks to the front of our store, you know, from the opposite direction too. All right, so I'll tell you what, let's just lay out the other curve. But I do want to see what it's like just... See, this is nice because it puts you just about the level of the average level of the island. This is good, and this makes a good step down. Right? Now, normally we would terminate here, which isn't bad, but it does encroach on our shop a little bit more than I would like. It just looks a little too crowded and a little too claustrophobic. Plus, geometrically, the idea of doing two curves, one in each plane, is kind of cool. So let's do this. Let's do this. We will make another curve. Yeah, okay, I get it. Add shape. Let's turn it on. And let's see what we have for... We have a radius of 39. And it's starting here. Okay, let's do this. So this is my central block right here. So let's do this. And again, all right, radius of 39, full block. Now the axis will be in a different position. And we'll have to tweak around with the Z a little bit to get it to line up. Okay, let's do it. Let's stop talking about it and let's do it. A full block. Axis is up. That's where we want it. Combine quads off. Snap to center. Set here. Also, I want to change the shape, the color of it too. Good. I think we're good. Okay, you can see it right here. So we would have to drag this now significantly south in order to make it line up, and that's not a problem. Do it! Yes, dear, I'm on it. So that means the Z, see, right-hand rule. That means south is positive, right? It has to go south more. So we have to make the Z more positive. So let's do this. And again, you know, I may not follow these curves exactly. But if I get them close enough, that's fine. Yes, south is positive. Thank you, Nebs. So I need to make that edge integrate with this edge. All right, so let's go configure Z. So we have to make this more positive, and that should bring it closer to us. Yeah, you can see it moving on up. Or moving on over anyway. And again, you know, we have this weird kind of thing here. I forget what does that. How I fixed that just earlier. Full block, radius, height, it being odd. .75, axis up, snap center. I mean, it doesn't really, but it's got to match with the other one. Let's see what the differences are. Let's compare. Oh, they look the same. It might be the rendering engine where it goes from a fractional radius to a whole radius, switches it back. It might be that. There's Arma. How are you doing down there today, sir? Let me see. I want to do this. I want to do this. And I think it was this kind of a thing. Enter like this. And see, that gets rid of that extra little notchy block there. And then I think when I go to that, no. What are you doing? Why? This. Okay. Right. Yeah, see, sometimes the rendering engine like really struggles with. Yeah, it can't handle it. It might be okay though. You know what? Let's do this. We'll do that, and we'll do that. Okay, so I think you can see how this is going to go now. It'll do this, and then we'll just bring it down layer by layer, right? So this corresponds with this corresponds with that, all the way down, right? One of the other things we can do is this. No, not that. We can bring this down and project it upwards like a cylinder. All right, so let's bring this down to water level. Like that. And then we can increase the height on it. Like this. I want it to go up a little further than that. Let's climb up here so we can see it. Or at least get to this point. H, let's go here to height. I think that's it, like this. Right? Yeah, this'll do it. All right, so the next layer would do like that. And you know what? Let's just sketch it in stone. We'll use dirt for intermediate blocks, like support blocks. Like that. Okay. And now the next block, see, has to come out. So we'll do this. Oh, I'm using andesite. Whatever. I don't know. I think it's just easier just to lower it each time. It's less confusing. Let's do this. And then we'll bring up the Y each time for each level like that. I think this is a little easier to do. Right? We can then, like this, bring this one down to the next level. And see, we could just proceed like that. Like this. We can then next come over to here. Get rid of that. And we just proceed downward like this. And then I think you guys can see how this goes. The other thing is, since we're going all the way out to here, we may want this curve to go out further. Maybe. Or maybe we'll use this as part of the path. Let's just see how it pans out. Yeah, you can see now where these don't line up. And that's why I needed them to be the same curve in both planes, and they're not doing that. But, you know, this doesn't really have to follow that one block for block. In fact, I'm wondering if we really even need to use this one as a guide at all. Like, we can count how many blocks. We can do this kind of a thing, right? Where we can bring this down right about to there, right? And then we can average out, you know, how many blocks up versus how many blocks over we have to do. All right? We can do that kind of a thing. Okay, we can do that. And then we can mark the center. Well, the center is going to be way, way over, isn't it? Let's see where the center is going to fall. Because I also don't want to destroy too much of the landscape. So we may just have it curve like to where the 45 is, right? We may wind up doing that. Yeah, this is where the center is going to be. I can tell you that right now. Let's do the sleeping thing. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of this. How am I doing for time? I've got 5 minutes left. I mean, this would have been the easier bridge to build, but this is Buffooncraft. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jellybean? This is Buffooncraft, people. Also, I find that, you know, we may be thinking here that we're taking out gigantic pieces of the landscape, but then when you remove it all and you build it in, you start to realize right away you know, the piece that you thought was really big isn't actually that big. So it's when you clear stuff out. Yeah, like if I went from that cardinal central axis there over to the 45 here, I think that would be really good. I think that'll work. So let's go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. Okay, so that's 13. So center is going to be right here. Right? So I'll dig it out enough so I can see it. But again, you know, I don't want to ruin this hillside if I don't have to. All right, so that would be the other axis. Right here. All right, let's just mark it there, and then I'll find out what this axis is. It should be right off of here. Let me see, 140. Oh, nice. Nice multiple of 10 there. Hey, I was really close with that. Oh, I wasn't close. I was spot on with it. Nice. Okay, so that means a 45 will come off of this. Calm down, buffoons. I'm just putting this here temporarily. Torch spamming. Yeah, I know. It'll be fine. Good game for being math genius. It's not genius, thanks. So yeah, that means the 45 will be almost where I place this torch right there. So the bridge would come over here. I don't know. I'm thinking I want it. What do you think? Have it terminate like right here? And then, you know, this could be a path which leads to the landing site right here. But as far as the descending steps of the bridge, I mean, they could end like right there. So how many? Now we're at 63, so that would be. So we have 8 in that direction, but we have what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like that. So how many blocks? So how would we lay this out? I'm thinking sketch-wise, maybe go 1, 2 like that. 2, 3 like that. And then let's just lay them out in just a progression like that. And then we'll... Sometimes it's hard when you're actually inside the the rendering. Just like, where am I? Yeah, that looks like that. And then we could just proceed on up after that. Right, this would be like 1 block per. So let's take that one out. That's not in there. And then, again, we could raise it up one by one, right? It's probably easier to see. All right, so we can just do this. And we could check each one as we... 2 goes there, 3 goes there, good. 4 goes there, 5 goes there. I think, good. 6 is just a single block. And the next one would be bring it up by 1. I think that's what, 7? Right there. And then the next one is right there. Eat. Let's strip away some of this stuff so it's not quite so confusing. Okay, and then that's the next one. And again, we don't have to follow this exactly. We may find as we build that we don't like this, that we like the basic shape of it, but maybe not the exact shape of it. So, you know, we could deviate. That's fine. All right, and then we have... So what'll happen is we'll have this one level, that one another level, and then this would be the final level. So yeah, it might work out. These two will share the same level, but that might not be a bad thing. If I follow this, this will terminate maybe 1 block earlier. Might not be a bad thing. Might not be a bad thing. Oh, nice. So you get the shape of your cog down now? Cog with a G, people. Working on it. Okay. All right, maybe we should follow this. But I don't know. Maybe having those two be in the same height would be okay. We're still in the planning stage, so it's not a big deal. We can put it in place. Oh, wow. Actually, it's going to be 3 of these. That might be a little too much, actually, because the next one's going to be that high. And then... this next one will be at this height. See what I mean? And then these 3 will share the same level all the way across. This will be actually too high, right? Yeah, this might be a little too much. It might be. Well, let's shut off this other arch, I should say. Did I say arc? What? Come on, Thunder, please. Right, and let's clean this up a little bit, and then we'll have a look, and that might end the stream. Okay, all of that is good. All right, let's take this down. You know, at the end of all this, we might just wind up just using this regular thing that we already made. But, you know, you got to explore these things. You got to proof them out. All right, it should descend downward like that. All right, let's remove this. Get back in my inventory. There we go. Like that. And so it's gonna look something like this. I'm thinking that's not bad. So far, I like it. Geometry Masterclass. Oh, and thanks for the moderation there, Nebs. Yeah, I'm thinking something like this. And then we could continue the path over to maybe, or, you know, we could make the landing area right here. Because remember, we're going to bring the river in and around like that. But I don't know. We could make the landing area right there as well. The other thing is, if you look at this carefully, oh, you know what we could do? That might be actually easier and might look cooler, is to bring the bridge straight across and then build the landing here and then make stairs down from the landing and just keep the bridge all one height. That would allow us to make some really cool looking arches under it. Yeah, we could do that instead. I like that idea better. I like that idea better. So if we're going with that now, I'm 9 minutes past the end of the stream, but bear with me here. And I do have to end the stream quite soon. I do have to go pick up Kaji. So, so let's just sketch this in. And this is what I'm thinking here. This is what I'm thinking. I'll try not to pan the camera too hard here. And you know what? Let's sketch in with the stone blocks like this. I am a little concerned that the bridge being this high might block out a little bit of Dora's build, but I'm thinking not. I'm thinking, Thunder, please. You're trying to do things quickly. Come on. Brain now. Brain. Yeah. Yeah, if you could just go ahead and just do the braining thing, that would be great. That would help out tremendously. Right? It might block out from certain angles, it might, but Dora's build is nice and big, so I think it'll be okay. And as long as I'm not too garish with the bridge build, it might actually complement it. All right, so we can put that there, like this. And let's just sketch this in quick, and then we'll call it. We'll have a look and see. Yeah, because let's not have it descend. Let's just have it go straight across. And then we'll have a look. Alrighty. And I'm thinking, okay, it then duplicates now because we're past the 45. Because of the circle, we have dihedral group 4, so we've got those symmetries to work with. Geometry students. Let's do it. We're almost there. We're almost there. Like this. And then here. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be the halfway mark right here. Like this. And then that would carry over to there. Now, I want to tell you how tempted I am to make the bridge just go all the way around like this and have the stairway down there. I'm really tempted to do that. But I think that's a little too much. Remember, this is going to be about maybe 7 blocks wide. 5 blocks to travel, and then a block on either side for the sides. Let's turn off that crap, shall we? Oh, I'm out of ender pearls, too. But I'm thinking something like this. And then we'll build like a dais over here for the landing, and we'll have stairs down each side, or just levels descending from each side at different heights. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to leave these here to mark the 45, though. Just for now. So, buffoons, it'll be fine. I know it's torch spamming, but it'll be fine. Trust me. I think that'll do it. Let's get some height. We'll take a look from up on the ridge, and then we'll call it a stream. Call it a stream. That's cool about having Dross built on a small mountain here is you can just climb up here and have a look at the shopping district from on high, as they say. Yeah. This is better infrastructure than I make in City Sky. So I was just playing on my new single-player world for a bit. Oh, cool. And went through 21 stone shovels so I can build my starter base. I haven't even collected materials yet. Ooh, early game. I made a big almost circle. Is that for the cog? I'm really kind of interested now in seeing what Eve has over there. But this is what I'm thinking now, right? We bring this over like this. We terminate it here with that. And then under this, you know, we'll divert the river a little bit, but just so it just barely clears Dora's area there. And then under here, we can have some, like, interesting arches. Maybe. I may go with more straight columns, because building arches at, like, this angle is going to be hard. Those two angles, not hard at all. The 45 might be okay, but in between is going to be, like, that would be, the 22.5 degree angles are going to be hard. I might be able to do it. We'll see. I'll show you when it looks more like a cog. Okay, all right. But I think that's where we're going to end this for right now, people. I like this idea. I like particularly how it doesn't now. It's going to be a little bit wider right about there. but I don't think it's going to block outdoor shop at all. It's going to be nice. I think it's going to add on to the structure that's already there. So we're kind of like incorporating the initial lore there, and it's not like wiping out any of the buildings or other structures. I like it. I'll show you my new Mushroom Island seed when you get some time to check. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that hasn't totally slipped my mind. You know, Nebs, you could stream your solo world. Some of us do that. Just a suggestion. Some of us would like to see that. I could. You could. Even if you did like a sleepy time, right? Some of us would like to see. It's just, never mind the fact that you build cool stuff and everything, but it's also just to see some early game stuff. Early game is just so much fun, right? I've thought about it. I'm sure you have. Okay, let's log off here. I've got to go fetch Kaji. Oh, I'm excited about that now. Okay, we need sleepy time streams. Indeed, we do. My sentiments exactly, Mr. Relic. Okay, let me... Fine, cool. Okay. I'm gonna have to do a raid and run if I raid at all. Let's see who's on right now. Well, Lone Star's on right now, so we're definitely gonna raid out to the man himself. But I'm gonna have to do a raid and run, which I don't like to do for my fellow buffoons, but it's better than no raid at all. Ooh, and Cheska's in there too. Nice. And there's Nebs doing the moderation. I need all the sleepy things. I've been here the whole time. He's gone to get a beer. There's Jessica. With her weird new name. I can't help but feel like you were a little indignant the first time I saw the new name tag and I didn't recognize it was you right away. I just feel maybe there was a little indignation there. Thunder, really? I hope I've made up for it since. All right. Took me a minute to get it to Thunder. Don't feel bad. Okay, all right. I thought it was just a guy not paying attention kind of thing, like a Y chromosome thing, but Neb says she didn't get it, so I feel justified. Ugh. Okay, let's do this. So you can all see the raid message up there. You can copy and paste that into the chat if you'd like to join us along on the raid. I always encourage the viewers to join us on these raids, even if you can't stay for the entire time. At least drop in, say hi, and if you feel so inclined, a follow, some bits, some subs, that would be really cool. There it is. Okay, all right. Let's set up the raid itself. Neb's getting all of the moderation she can in there. Neb's, let me see, ! BC Discord. Yeah, that's for the Buffooncraft Discord. Yeah, I changed that, so I didn't tell you. Sorry. There it is. Okay, cool. Good. I've got all the cases right. And the raid now is counting down for the mighty Lone Star. Family-friendly viewers, be advised that Lone Star stream is intended nearly entirely for mature audiences. There's definitely some language and stuff in there and some shenanigans, but Lone is super cool. We have a good time in there. We have a lot of shared community, so chances are there's somebody in there that you know. Just remember that we do this Buffooncraft stream every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our next stream will be Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be Kutchy time. We may be doing some music stuff there, maybe. And then the stream after that will be Wednesday from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be Generations. We should be back in the Survival 5, Generation 5 world. Oh no, he's mature audience? I don't handle that well. Yeah, right. If you're at least 50% of the reason for that mature audience rating. At least. Okay, rating out to Lone Star now. Bye for now, everyone.